I want to talk to you about, again, the 7 listing attraction strategies. Now, many of you are going to go, hey, my coach and I started working on that 2 years ago, or hey, I'm killing it on that one. My hope is that I reveal at least 4 that you're currently not doing. So I'd love for you to start by writing in your notes, what are the top 3 lead sources that bring you the most listings today? I see Tim Macy in the house. Good to see you, brother. Right? What are the top 3 listing sources that bring you the most listings today? I'm going to bet you're going to start with your past clients in Sphere. And by the way, I grouped them all into 1. And most of our clients, by the way, are saying, Julia, that it's anywhere between 35 to 55% of the listings they're getting right now are coming directly from their past clients in Sphere and referrals from those people, which is excellent. It means their brands are strong, their trust is high, and they're marketing effectively in the language that is resonating with their customers. So what's number 2 and 3 for you? What's number 2 and 3? Remember, my promise is I'm going to give you 7 with the hope that 4 of them you're like, oh, okay, I can slip that one into my business and make that a September, October, November, all the way through 2021, new source of getting listings. That's the mindset. All right, so let's take a look. The first thing, you guys have all seen this, if you look at the year-over-year results in the US, and I know I've got friends all over the world. I just saw somebody say, hey, it's 5 a.m. here. So I have a feeling I know they're like Australia or New Zealand or maybe someplace in Asia. But right now in the US, this looks pretty similar to the rest of the world. We have a total shortage of listings hitting the market with historically low interest rates, creating this sort of perfect storm of sometimes a not so great listing has multiple offers, but when a tasty listing hits the market, it goes bananas. I've heard as high as 27 offers on a property, to the point that one of our community members actually built a spreadsheet just to be able to review offers with their sellers because they were getting so many of them. So we have an obligation, my friends, to, if you will, shake the tree more, because the more you shake the tree, metaphorically, the more apples fall, the more listing opportunities show up for you. So you can't just do what you've always done. We need to get exponentially more, especially looking at the data. Even worse, if you look at it this way, the housing supply year over year, it just continues to get worse, meaning less and less properties hitting the market, more and more people confused, more and more people haven't had a beautiful consultation from someone like you who's willing to sit down and say, David, tell me about what your goals are. What are your ambitions? Why are you guys wanting to do this? Are you sure this is the right time? Right? Actually being thoughtful, as if it was your parents or one of your closest friends, not to slam dunk and get a listing to hit MLS and make a sale, but to actually be thoughtful, right? What's most important to them? And then we all see this. So I was on the phone yesterday with Steve Harney, and we were talking about the fact that in the US right now, appointments are up 60% year over year, right? Appointments to see property up 60%. So if you were talking with a potential seller today, hey, how's the market? Well, the number of people going out to see homes for sale is up 60% year over year, right? The demand has never been greater, whether it's the interest rate, the shortage, or how people view a home today. So I just want to say these things to you to just bring to light how important it is that we add, Doug, some new approaches to generate even more listings. On the last day on Thursday, Jason Pantana and myself are going to walk you through, here's the marketing plan that we want you to follow every day, every week, throughout the month, that will generate 7 to 10 listing appointments every single month. I know if we bring you an additional 7 to 10 appointments, this group, you guys are going to help a lot of people, which means you're not on the other side of the buyers saying, how do I get my offer accepted? But instead, you get to work with the piece you want, right? How do I get more listings to deal with the offers? So let's go through it together. Here's my first question. How many listings do you want to take? Paula Clark, in the next 16 months, how many listings do you want to take? Write down a number so we have context, right? I see Diane Van Dyke. I saw you on the phone, probably booking an appointment. I love it, or closing a deal. I caught you. It's all good. How many appointments do you want, listings, in the next 16 months? Do you want 2 a month, Do you want 5 a month? Do you want 10 a month? Jay Marks, what do you want? 20 a month? Right? Someone at your level? There we go, right? 20 a month, baby. How many do you want? Get that number in your head. Right? So show me on fingers, because I see all these faces. Show me on fingers how many listings you want to take in the next 16 months. Show me the number. On fingers, you can go boom, 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 boom. You can go 25. How many do you want? Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh, I see some of you going triple digits. I love it. I see a 20 in the month. Love it. Outstanding. All right, so come back to me. So, the first thing I want to stress to you is you do not win the listing game playing defense. You do not win the listing game playing defense. I actually was sent this by a client. I love it. If you all see the little slide, it's so cute, right? It's one of us going up to somebody with a sandcastle saying, I know, right? All I'm saying is if you did decide to sell, we need to be operating at that level, my friends. We need to be so listing focused, appointments, using our energy. That's how we're going to dominate the next 16 months. So here's the first one. Should be common sense. Now, tomorrow in the morning, do I have your attention right now? Right? Do I have your attention? Tomorrow in the morning, I'm going to do something that I have not done in 5 years. I'm actually going to be a little risky and reveal what I see as the 6 most important trends that are impacting all of us. The 6 most important trends. And for context, the last time I did this 5 years ago, I said, hey, there's 7 things that we need to get ahead of the curve on. There's 7 things, and a whole bunch of them, my friends, are what companies like this are doing. Right now, I think you should sign up for every one of these sites so your friends and your parents and others that get their very intelligent, smart marketing, that they're not like, oh yeah, hey, we just listed our house, or oh honey, I found this really great service called HomeLight, and I went there and I found 6 agents and you weren't one of them. I've had multiple friends call me because I know just about every CEO. Please don't call me right away. Please call your coach first. But multiple friends and clients call me and say, hey, Tom, my client who I sold 6 properties to, listed and sold 6 times in the last 20 years, just went to one of these websites and they sent me the lead for a 25 or 35% referral fee. What the hell do I do? Now, my friends, I'm telling you right now, I've got some, if you will, showstoppers for you tomorrow on how you're going to out-position them in your local marketplace. That starts at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, so you need to show up uber focused and ready. Because when I reveal those 5 things, Michael Franco, I love you, brother. When I reveal those 6 trends, one of them is, how do you beat these guys? How do you beat the op cities of the world, the Referral Exchange, the Zillow, the Realtor, the FSBO, etc.? But I will tell you, short term, if you want listings, the first thing is you better be signed up for every one of them and pay the referral fee happily all day long. Make sense, everybody? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Okay, so we're on the same page. So what I've seen is, like Jill Biggs, who I was talking to and texting earlier, right? She says, hey, UpNest, I kill it there. HomeLight, I kill it there. I don't mind paying the referral fee because I'd pay a referral to every agent in the community that sends me a listing. And I'm going to take that listing using strategies that we'll be discussing this week to generate 2 or 3 more deals from it. So I can take the haircut short term because I'm going to make a fortune on the back. So that's the first one. Number 2. Now this should be common sense. But do me a favor for all my friends that are watching right now, everybody out there, be honest. Have you spoken with every single person in your entire database this year? Yeah, I see you all looking down, looking away. Okay, coach, I know I got to do it. So I'm going to give you guys a couple different ways from the trenches what's working now. So let's take it the first thing I'd ask you to do. Take a look at this slide and this dialogue that I'd love for you to have with every person in your database. Now, why this is going to make a lot of sense is because, Doreen, you already reached out and said, hey, are you guys okay? Right? Hey, are you guys COVID safe? checking in, do you need anything? So you've maintained that trust and that bond and that connection. So now to come in and say, hey, Doreen, I'm reaching out because so much has changed over the last 5.5 months, and I'm reaching out to all my best clients and friends to really kind of have 3 different conversations about our homes today. So my first question is like, Todd, have you guys refied to the most ideal price rate, percentage, if you will, interest rate for your goals? And what's fun about that question is they're gonna be like, well, yeah, I think I got a pretty good rate. I was with somebody a couple days ago, like, yeah, my interest rate's 4%. I'm like, have you been living under a rock? You can get a 1.99. You can get a 2.6. Like, there's so much available. The vast majority of our clients don't know. So I want you to explore that, like that Oprah conversation we had earlier. The second part is, hey, have you guys secured a just-in-case HELOC loan? Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of people got caught with their pants down during COVID. They weren't prepared financially. And by the way, if they're thinking about selling their house, good idea to pull some cash out to make them a better, more attractive buyer. So I want you to have that dialogue. And then lastly, notice lastly, first it's like, let's make sure you refi at the right rate. Second one, do you guys have a HELOC loan? Are you guys set? Are you guys good? I just know some people that really got in trouble during COVID. And heck, if there is another shutdown, I want you to be prepared, right? I am your real estate. I am your trusted advisor. The last one is knowing what you know now. With work from home, some people having to teach from home. The question is, are you living in your ideal home now? Or have you guys considered making a change? And did you all hear my tone? Did you all hear my tone? Hey, with work from home, some of us teaching from home, the question is, are you living in your ideal home now? Or have you guys thought about making some changes? And that's when you hear the, well, and you know the answer is yes. And all I'm asking you to do is to go deeper and wider. Between now and the end of the year, I challenge you to have that conversation with every person in your database. Now, I know a bunch of you are going to be like, oh, I can just shoot a video on this. Come on, Tom, video first. I'm going to say, yes, you can absolutely send that video, and you should do it. But I'm asking you, if you care for your clients the way I care for you, you will reach out and connect on that level and watch what happens. The deeper you go, forget the fact that it's just an opportunity. It's referrals, it's relationship building on steroids. So that's the second part. But I also want you to do this. This is something I want you to do today. Starting today, look at this little text. Hey name, fill in the blank, obviously. Hey name, hope you and the family are doing great. Crazy times. The real estate market is bananas. Now, if you're new to the Tom Ferry community, bananas is a word that is used to describe many things. Primarily, all things bananas are all things awesome, right? So if you say the real estate market is totally bananas, if you haven't heard it, hey, do you just want to know the new value of your home? Now, I've been teaching this sort of texting strategy myself and Bill Pipes and Jason and Debbie and Jeff and all of our amazing coaches because we knew going back 5 years ago, 60% of consumers, guess what? They want to communicate through text. Guess what the number is today? It's 90%. 90% of the people we reach out to would rather be in a texting conversation with us than that phone call. You know it and I know it. But now, it's one thing to say, hey, here's an example of what you should send. Take a look at these numbers. So here's Robert Mack, right? He and his team watching right now. So Rob goes, hey, I sent out 181 texts over a 4-week period. Only got 144 responses. That happens to the best of us. But from that, 44 people raised their hand, 38 CMAs. Go down to the bottom. 12 serious sellers that are 1 to 2 year out, 3 listings taken, 2 needed to buy, 4 clients referred to his lender for a refi, and 2 clients got pre-approved for an investment property. Now, everybody just do me a favor. Right now, grab your phone and just go like this with a big smile on your face. Go like this. Go like this. 2 hands. 2 hands. Unless you only text with 1. 2 hands. Just show me that you can do it. Okay, so I see everyone knows how to do it. So here's my ask. I want, when we're done today, after you check some more things out, go to some networking, hang out with some friends, I want to have you text 10 people in your database that script. 10 people in your database, and then I would argue continue to do 10 a day for the next 2 weeks, and let's see if your numbers are equal to or greater than Rob's model. Is it equal to or greater than? Now, by the way, what did we learn from Joseph? If I put that in my schedule, text 10 people, here's the script, copy, paste, change name, send. Next one, copy, paste, change name, send. You do that 10 times and you do it for 2 weeks straight. Not only will you have paid for the summit, you will have set yourself up with all kinds of listing opportunities, super easy. So give me a yes if you're committed to do that. I want to hear you from around the world. Are you in? Say yes. Say yes. I want to see those lips moving, Doreen. Are you in? Say yes. There we go. All right. Now, you saw the data. This was a postcard that was created that I absolutely love. Now, we modified just the color of this. It was all green and white. But have you sent a postcard like this to your entire database? At what price would you consider selling your home? And then you back it up with homes in Acton or your city have increased by an average of $80,000 in the last 12 months. If you have had any thoughts of selling, please contact us for your standard CTA, right? You want me to back up and show you that one again? This is a really good piece. I got you. I love that when someone's like, back up, back up. So the headline, big postcard, at what price would you consider selling your home? At what price would you consider selling your home? And then your standard CTA on the back. But what I loved about this, now I see Catherine taking a photo, and I love it, Catherine, but you're getting all the slides inside of the software at the end of the day. So I just want to remind you, you get everything. All right. In addition, a few years back, I started saying to people, hey, you know what you should do? Why don't you just go back and say, every person I sold a house to 2 to 5 years ago, so this is just my past clients, 2 to 5 years ago, what if I put together just a mini CMA, cloud CMA, the ones you can bang out like really quick? And what I tell people is, man, what if you just did like 5 a day? Just 5 a day, add it into my schedule. I'm going to do 5 mini CMAs for people that I sold a house to 2 to 5 years ago, but I'm going to add this little sticky note. So I'm actually going to handwrite, right? Yvonne, you've done really well with this property, and I'd probably highlight the new price. And knowing you, smarty pants, what are you going to do? You're going to write down what you sold it to them for 5 years ago. Hey, $395,000, now worth $475. I'm the kind of person that would say, don't you wish you would have bought 2? Because they made so much money. So name, you should have bought 2 of these. Hey, I'm curious, have you had any thoughts of trading up, right? Or trading down? Let's discuss, talk soon. So here's the hook. If I now send 5 of those a day, pretty easy. I like it packaged up, put into a mailer, hand address, hand stamp. I'm old school because I know that gets opened. And I'm going to send those out, and that's going to be a part of my discipline now, 5 a day, which means now when I'm following up with a text or a phone call, it's far more meaningful. Now, again, what's great about every one of these strategies is every one of these is also a video you could shoot. But I want you to be clear. You got 500, 800, 8,000, 10,000 people inside your database. I'm asking you to touch them. I'm asking you to connect on a deeper level, deeper than you've been since maybe March or April when we were all saying, are you okay? Now we want to talk about their house. All right, so that's the second one. The third one, show me if you're working expireds. Give me a little thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know, are you working expireds in your marketplace? Right? So I see a couple no's. Come on, expired listings. Kristen, are you doing it? I see you there. Give me a thumbs up, Kristen, or a thumbs down. All right, cool, got it. Right? Julie, I didn't see you. You doing it? Thumbs down. So hey, I love the thumbs down because this means this is an opportunity for you to grow. So if you want to generate 40, 50, 60, 80, 100, 200 listings over the next 16 months, metaphorically, you can only squeeze the same lemons and get so much juice. We're going to have to get some additional lemons to create more juice. So we need to add more listing sources. So I'm going to argue that expired listings, even in this incredible bull market that we're in, I'm still seeing expireds every day, everywhere. So I'm going to give you 2 different scripts, two different openings. Just take a look at this. Just take a look at this opening as maybe something different that causes you to A, feel better about your offering, and B, you're absolutely going to stand out. Now, heads up, this was my buddy Tom Toole and I brainstorming with new strategies. Who's like the king of expireds. He said, we just need something new, something different, something that makes me stand out. And I said, well, are you offering people the COVID home and lifestyle consultation? He was like, oh, stealing that, right? Instantly R&Ding that idea. Hey, did anybody offer you a COVID home and lifestyle consultation to prepare you for what buyers want now? Now, what are they going to say? Their home didn't sell. They're going to be like, no, what's that? Well, COVID has completely changed how people live and work in their homes. I mean, how have your days changed? Engaging them with, how have your days changed? Oh my God, I got my kids, my dogs, my mother-in-law just moved in. It's completely nuts. I sit in front of my computer all day long, and you're like, right. Remember, we're going to sell like Oprah. We're going to listen with empathy, with caring and understanding, and then say, you're absolutely right. And a lot of home buyers feel the same way. If I could show you how we can appeal to the new lifestyle that today's buyers want, it would be crazy not to meet, right? Now, that's just a different opening. Now, my hope is by sharing that with you, that, following all the appropriate rules, all the DNC, all the appropriate guidelines, which you must do, my friends, that you start reaching out with a little more intelligence, a different approach. If everybody's saying the same thing and you're doing something different, you stand out and you win. So we gave you another one. Did anybody offer you a COVID home and lifestyle consultation to prepare your home for sale? As you can imagine, COVID has completely changed what's important to home buyers. Wouldn't you agree? From work from home, teach from home, stay at home. How have you guys modified your place? And I'm watching Tim Macy right now, who's one of our, rock star crazies on video. He's already going, oh, I could do a video on this one for sure, right? Your home didn't sell. Did anybody offer you a home and lifestyle consultation? That home and lifestyle consultation, I really hope you wrote down. Because as we continue through this, my friends, whether it takes another 6 months or 2 years, it's more about what's important in your home. Because the word home means so much more today than it's probably ever meant. So let's be aligned with people's emotions and their behaviors, and let's help them get those homes sold. So, expireds is number 3. This one, okay, I'm looking at the camera. Not enough of you are paying attention to, and I'm telling you right now, this is where the gold is right now. The gold is in number 4. Are you guys ready for number 4? Do you want the gold? Say to me, I want the gold. Right? I want the gold. And here's what's great, guys. Like these expired scripts, this is brand new. This is like just off the press. Like Tommy's saying, oh man, it did it. I worked it. I got it. People are really engaging with it. They understand it. I'm definitely aligned with consumers. This one is the listing gold mine. And everyone that does it is like, why are you telling anyone? Right? Please don't tell anybody in my market. So let's take a look. Non-owner occupieds. Unbelievable source of listings right now. I could go through all the reasons why. Let's just start with the fact that there's no emotional attachment. I didn't raise my kids here. I didn't marry my spouse here, right? My puppy didn't die here. There is no, that would be bad emotion, but oh, my poor Nova, right? There's no emotion to it. I bought it. Someone gave me money for it. And you know what? In California, I'm getting nervous about owning investment properties, right? A lot of people I'm talking to are like, a little like, oh, right? I'm a little nervous now. So I gave you some numbers, and I'm really upset that I couldn't get the last one. But what do we know? There's 128 million homes in the US. There's 15.4 million in Canada. There's 9.4 in Australia. And there's 221,300 in all of Europe. Right? And I know we have multiple other countries here, but I tried to do some of the big chunks. So here's what you probably don't know. In the US, there's 21 million investment properties, 21 million single-family residences. And what you need to know is 16 million of those properties are owned by people like us, non-institutional investors, right? Melissa just owns an investment property that she bought in Los Feliz 1,000,000 years ago. Or, my buddy Claude, whose mom had a couple fourplexes in like Hollywood, and now he owns them. He's not an investor. He just properties passed down in the family, and now he owns these toilets and tenants and problems. Does that make sense? Look at this. In Canada, 15.4 million homes, 4 million are investment properties. When I got that number, I was blown away. In Australia, 9.4 million, 2 million investment properties. And with Europe right now, Europe is basically in 1962. Sorry for all my friends out in Europe, but we don't have the data at the level we have in all these other countries. My point to you is this, my friends. Look at this. If you haven't pulled the list in your town, if you haven't gone to your title rep or to Remine or any other data mining solution, what's the first thing you want to do? Pull up every property, right? Every property. Second, I'm going to add them to my database under non-owner occupieds, and they're going to start getting a mailer from me every single month. Every single month like clockwork. You with me? They're going to get my just listeds. They're going to get my just sold how we did it. They're going to get my market updates. They're going to get everything. They're now a part of my non-owner occupied farm. Then you can see. Number 3, I want you to send the very first mailer. I put in their primary residence just to remind you that you can't send it to the address. You got to send it to their house, like where they actually live. But for the first one, look up here, guys. So you're at your, for me, I come out of the garage, I go to the mailbox, I grab the mailbox, I grab all the mail, and I'm like this. Ready? Bill, junk mail, junk mail, bill. Right? Does anybody else do the same thing? Give me a hand yes if you guys do the same thing. Or do you go like this? Oh, look, someone sent me some junk mail. I can't wait to go sit and read this. No, we go bill, trash, bill, trash. But every now and then I go like this. Oh, hand addressed, hand stamped, birthday cake, thick stock, really full. Somebody's having a party, and I put that one on top to make sure my wife gets it. That's right there, guys, a very important key when you're doing direct mail. Hand address, hand stamp, birthday cake, wedding cake, holiday cake, whatever, something not ran through the postage machine and, ran through just a label process. You do that, my friends, and maybe, just maybe, if you're doing this for a buyer, because you've got a buyer that desperately wants to live in that neighborhood, you could write a letter like this. Hey, John, I hope this finds you and yours doing well. I've been searching for a home for my clients, the Smiths, right? They've got 3 kids and 1 on the way, and they desperately want to live in Crystal Downs. I saw that you guys own an investment property at 1234 Banana Street, and I'm just curious, with prices peaking, an election cycle near us, and any other information that you know about your area, would you be open to selling that property? Right, with a question mark. We can assist your tenants in finding a new place. And of course, I work with lots of investors on trading up through 1031 exchanges. Hey, would you just let me know? Even a text saying no, so I can let my clients know, would be greatly appreciated. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm 100% okay if a bunch of investors text me and say no. And then I text back, hi, I'm sorry you're not in my phone. Who is this and which property, so I can tell my client? Oh, this is Tom Ferry. Oh, Tom Ferry, thank you so much. I'm sorry you don't have any thoughts of selling that one. By the way, do you have any other properties you would consider selling? And I start engaging them on that level. Now, do me a favor. By a raise of hands, how many of you think there's more than 100 non-owner occupieds in your city? Oh, that would be everyone. I would bet that for the vast majority of you, it's in the thousands, depending upon how broadly you go. If Yvonne took Riverside, if you took all of Riverside County, the desert alone, my mom owns 35 properties in the desert alone. She's more of an institutional investor. So you're going to see plentiful opportunity. I'm challenging you. If you want to dominate on the listing side, you cannot get there doing more of the same. You've got to add something that's proven and works. Now, here's a little script. I would recommend you call them. Hey, John, Tom Ferry here. I sent you a letter about your property on 1234 Banana Street. Did you receive it? Hey, have you considered trading that property? Would it be helpful if I gave you an updated valuation on the home? Which would be the best place to get it to you? Email, or should I just send it to your house? Well, why don't you just email it to me? Great. While I'm doing it, do you have any other investment properties you'd like some information on, another evaluation on? And now all of a sudden, well, I do own a couple, but one's in Tennessee and one's over here. Hey, I got great agent relationships everywhere. Why don't I reach out to those people? I'll get some valuations, I'll package it up, and I'll send it over to you. Now, the reason why I love this script, look up here. What you don't know, or maybe you do, is I'm also Reverend Tom Ferry. In the last year and a half, I have married 3 couples. One of the couples met at the summit several years ago and literally came to the Tom Ferry After Dark dance party, and I got to marry them recently. Right now, almost a year exactly. So it's been fun for me to do this, which, by the way, my assistant went online, registered for me. I got a card. It says Reverend Tom Ferry, and that's it. And I kind of know how to work an audience and do a script. Thank you. It's not really that much. But here's the best part. In 2 weeks, I'm going to marry my little sister, right? She had a huge wedding planned. It was going to be in the Biltmore in North Carolina, a travel-in wedding. You know, she's my littlest of my 2 sisters. She's not this little. She's 35 years old. But, you know, it's just so special when she said, hey, Colin and I would love for you to marry me. And when she said it, I just had this insane flash memory of sitting down with my mom when she said, you're not going to believe this. I get this cold call from a commercial broker. And I'm like, yeah? I'm like, what's the story? She goes, well, you know, he called me and said, you know, hi, this is Colin, and I know you have this property over at blah, blah, blah. And I'm just curious, we sent you a letter if you had any thoughts of trading up, trading down, anything you'd like to do. And she goes, no. And he goes, well, do you have any other properties? She goes, yeah, I got a couple other properties. And she's trying to chatty Cathy. So she's in this dialogue with this guy, clearly had nothing else to do in the moment, right? So she's just bop, 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 bop. And then she goes, you know, you sound like a pretty nice guy. How old are you? And he's like, well, I'm 29. And he's like, really? Are you married or single? The guy's like, I'm single. She's like, are you good looking? He's like, I guess I'm pretty good looking. She goes, well, I have this really hot daughter. Why don't you text me a photo of you, and I'll text you a photo of my daughter. That all happened about 3.5 years ago, and I'm marrying them in 2 weeks. All from a script like this, my friends. Raise your hands if you're single, by the way. Raise your hands if you're single. This could be a really good thing for you. You could fall in love with an investor and get a couple listings. All right. Thank you. All right, let's keep going. So number 5. Number 5, I think, is so important. All of you should do this. Ready? In your notes, Google tonight how many people live, or actually even better, don't Google it. Go into Remind or your MLS or however you get your data, and I want you to pull up. Ready, guys? I'm going to give you the list. People that have owned their property for 25 to 50 years, 25 or more. But you know, you could literally go in and say, show me every person in my entire city that's owned their house for 25 years or more. Now, what I love is I want to say they're owner occupied and they're 2 floors. So 2-story, 3-story. 2-story, 3-story. So now all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute. Who is most likely to sell in the next 18, 24, 36 months? Who could I make a connection with and nurture with and really, like, with a lot of empathy and respect, be there for them to support them in the next stage of the transition of their life? Now, I know with Remind, you can actually put in things like their age, and that really gets interesting. But what do we want to do? I want to add them into my database, a whole list of them just called downsizers. Downsizers. These are people that have owned it for 25 or 50 years. I'm pretty sure you can say has a mortgage or not. That's even better. But always having 2 floors. And then the same thing. I want to mail them something, right? And the first time I mail them, you don't want to have it in your company branded. Nothing against your company brand. You all have great logos. You know I know all your CEOs. I love the brands. The point is, if I want them to get it to open it, something soft, right? Heavy stock envelope, handwritten, address, hand stamped. Make it beautiful and easy. But here's the hook. You ready? I'm going to be mailing to them once a month from now on. So the hand address, hand stamped, you got. Make the phone calls, follow the DNC script, obviously. Make sure you're paying attention there. And consider knocking, just like you heard from Andy. Consider knocking. So here's a little script or a letter, right, to start with. So here's the deal. I give you this as an example. Don't do this if you don't have a buyer. But if you have a buyer, right? I'm going to take my non-owner occupied list. I'm going to take my most likely to downsize list, and I'm going to find the non-seller for my customer. So you can see, open up this nice little letter. Dear name, I hope this finds you doing well. I'm writing because my clients, the Smiths, they've got 3 kids, 1 on the way, and they desperately need a 2-story home in Crystal Downs. We drove past your home at 1234 Banana Street, and they were curious with peaking prices, the election cycle, and everything else happening in the world. Have you guys had, and I'd underline any, if you had any thoughts of making a move anytime soon? If you have or haven't, would you let me know, even a text or an email just saying no, so I can let my clients know to find another property? P.S. If you want to know the value of your home, I can certainly do that as well. That with a nice little envelope sent to 60, 80, 100, 200. In your notes, write this down. In your notes, write this down, please. The most recent study on direct mail, now we're talking about basic direct mail, bulk sending, postcards, not this kind of stuff, which is always going to produce a better response. The current number is a 4.5% response rate to every 100 you send out. So you send 100, you should be expecting 4.5. Now here's the hook. It increases dramatically when you take it to this level. When you go hand addressed, hand stamped, personalized. I actually just saw them, and I think they're still here. I see Marty Gellens and Maxine, right? What's up, Marty? Hey, Maxine, right? I don't want to tell all the juicy details, but Maxine, I think was that Mark, I think, or maybe Mike? So Maxine, we're chatting one day, and she's like, I got this buyer, right? So every week when we're on our coaching sessions, we'll go through who are your hottest buyers, who are your seller leads, to make sure they're staying on top of it and converting, right? So Maxine finally's like, God, okay, I got this guy. There's and I'll screw up the number. There's 32 homes on this one street on the ocean. And he desperately wants to be in that. She goes, and I just know there's gonna be an opportunity, right? She sees the one house that I think I'm probably butchering the story, Maxine, but you know the home, right? She finds his property, right? She writes a letter, which how she got it to the guy, I have no idea how she did it, to finally find where this guy is through multiple LLCs, writes a letter saying, look, I got a client who wants to buy in this street. I know you got that property. Would you be interested in selling it, right? The guy calls. Long story short, she gets a $10 million listing and then sells it. A $10 million listing because she took the time to be resourceful and thoughtful and put together a great little letter. And then Zach, right, her grandson, is now out doing it in all kinds of other farming areas. My point to you is this, my friends. Between the phone calls, between the ding dong and the direct mail, this is how you're going to win today. But you can't just keep doing more of the same. You got to try new things. Number 6, agent-to-agent referrals. So all my coaching clients, we're still averaging 500 to 600 agent-to-agent referrals all between all of you guys. And Dave Robles, you and I both know for as long as we've known each other, that doesn't even scratch the surface compared to how many of you already know each other and just call direct, right? You already say, oh, okay, I need, who's in Atlanta? Oh, my stars, Linda Baker, boom. Right? And you text her and you do a referral. That stuff's happening every single day. My friends, I want to challenge you. Your database is much richer than you think, and your ability to market to other agents strategically should become one of your most important listing pillars. Go back a couple years ago or go on my YouTube channel and watch the YouTube video, a Tom X Talk by Melissa Menard, who broke down this beautiful strategy for how she's been networking, not just with her company, but with the entire Tom Ferry ecosystem. So here's the list. You ready? My advice to you tactically is build your list of partners. Build your list of partners. So should you have local agents in there? The answer is absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. You should have local agents that are higher up in the ranks, people you want to work with, you want to be more connected to, but also your company, both regionally and internationally. I don't care what company you work with. If they have a ton of you, if there's 5 of you, if there's 15,000 of you, you should be connecting, but you should be connecting with all of them and getting them into your database. The next one is all international and then national agents that you meet across the country. You with me? Or you meet here, guys. We got people from Asia, Australia, New Zealand. We got 40 some odd countries covered during this experience. That's a lot of opportunity for you to do some quick hit networking like we would if we were face to face at the bar hanging out afterwards. But here's the big one. You ready? Targeted people in specific towns that we would call most likely. So what are those most likelies? You go to howmoneywalks.com as an example, or you Google, where do people move when they leave Alberta? Where do they go? Where do people leave when they leave Toronto? Where do they go? And all of a sudden now you're getting this data-rich set of, hey, you know what? They move here and here and here and here. And what I'm asking you to do, write this in your notes because it's not on here, is I want you to map out where people are coming to and from and how many agents you know in those regions. Map it out. So I do a lot of business with a company called Baird & Warner. Big shout out to Baird & Warner in Chicago. And I've been showing them this How Money Walks and actually kind of razzing them some of the times because Cook County, Illinois, which is the county that Chicago is in, seems to show up in just about every city where people are moving to. So there's clearly a little mass exodus happening in Chicago. A lot of it, though, by the way, Melissa, when you look at the How Money Walks map, shows that they're just moving out into the suburbs, that they want to get out of the city, and now they're moving into these other spots. What I'm telling people is you need to know those spots for your area. Yvonne, who I've referred to a couple times, living up in Sandpoint, Idaho, knows that people are coming from all over California, Arizona, Nevada. They're now coming from the East Coast because everyone's hearing Idaho's the place for a little bit of money. I can get a lot of land and beautiful quality of life. So what's she going to do? She's going to market to all those agents, letting them know I'm the one. Now, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of things to do, but obviously, you need to join all the online communities you can. And obviously, our ecosystem is bananas for agent-to-agent referrals. Obviously, all of them should be built into your CRM under one category, agent-to-agent, and then broken down by local, your company, Tom Ferry ecosystem people, right? Most likely to move, that kind of stuff. But then here's your list. You ready? And Melissa, I give you a lot of credit for this. I just added a bunch more to it. You want to go through and say, all right, let's do a personal video to my best referring partners at least once a year. Hey, Brian, just wanted to reach out, man. Hope you guys are doing great. I was thinking about, I drove past the Joneses' house the other day. What a wonderful couple. Thank you so much for referring to me. Hope you and you guys are doing great. See you soon. Just that little personal touch video is going to go a long way. Right? I love a video checking in to wish, so this is just beyond bomb. I see you there, Marianne, with it looks like your kid behind you. Hey, what's up? No, Marianne, she's like, get out of here. I'm in the middle of the summit. All right, I like that. She's focused. I want a video every quarter. You just say, hey, happy spring. Hope it's going well for you, right? Happy holidays, all that good stuff. But I want to find it on here. Ready? Number 3. Look at number 3, Melissa Menard. I want a direct mail piece with the name of every agent you sent or received, whether it closed or not, the name of every agent you sent or receive on a I'd like to thank the following agents, 32 names. You with me? And then you mail that to your entire agent-to-agent database. Does that make sense, everybody? Now they're like, wow. She gets a lot of referrals. I should probably talk to her more. Katie Day, who I see over here, right from Texas, she's killing it on the agent-to-agent referrals because she's doing these types of things. Also, look at 4, 5, 6, 7. What have you sent them, by the way? Watch this, guys. Here's the top 20 things I learned at Tom Ferry's virtual summit this year. You list out your top 20, you make a video, and then you send it to all the agents with the hope that they get better. Hey, I don't know if you were there or not. Let me know if you were. But there was 5 scripts, 2 text messages, this whole crazy trend thing he's talking about. I just wanted to make sure you had it. I hope you're having a great year. Keep up the good work, right? Meet them face-to-face when it's safe. Look at number 5. What if you scheduled a mastermind session with all the agents in all these areas and you talked about agent-to-agent referrals, listing attraction strategies, helping the people in those areas that would be most likely to send you referrals, helping them with how you built your business. Paula, giving back to them so the referrals and the reciprocity machine keeps working in your favor. So, do me a favor and stop before I give you anything else. Stop and just in your notes write down, what are the 2 to 3 that I'm thinking about going after? Don't go deep, just say, okay, I'm missing the boat on expireds, that whole non-owner occupied thing. What up, Scott Reynolds? I see you and the team inside there. Love it. Woohoo, good to see ya. By the way, I got a photo earlier of like 50 people sitting in a room with Doug Edrington, one of our great coaches and clients, 50 people looking at all these screens like, yes, I love it. So what are the 3 or 4 you're thinking about? What are the 2 or 3 that you're thinking about adding in? Is it going to be more agent-to-agent referral? Is it going to be non-owner occupieds? Is it going to be expireds? Are you going to text every single person in your database and go deeper? What are you going to do? What are you committed to? More of the same is just going to get you more of the same. We have to add more pillars, more lead sources to get the kind of breakthrough results we want. Now, here's the last one. Number 7. Are you living in your dream home now? Are you living in your dream home now? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to pull the list of every person that's owned a home in your area for more than 7 years. For more than 7 years. Now, you can go in detail into your marketplace and say trends for when people are selling, like how long after they buy, right? When I did this, the number's now showing it's like 7 years is when the selling begins. We know the average now is 10 years, but still at the 7-year mark, that's when people start. But what I want to do is I want to add them into a specific list where I pull all the condos and all the townhomes and the smaller properties. Smaller properties. Now, I don't know how detailed you can get, whether it's through your MLS or through Remind, but literally I'm looking for homes that are, 1,500 square feet and smaller. Right? So I bought my first house. It's super awesome. It's a 1-bedroom and a loft with 2 bathrooms, a no-car garage, and it's 960 square feet. And then I fell in love. And suddenly there was not enough closet space for all of our clothes. And then we decided to get a dog. And then we said we should have a family. And just like that, my friends, we are on the most likely to move list. My point to you is, I want you to think about the data. I want you to get more scientific. Instead of just, pray and spray and hope that something happens, I want you to get more targeted and focused. And once again, I'm going to put them in my database under like small properties or most likely to sell. And now I can message to them on the things that matter the most to them. Like if you see in my notes, like I would start sending them new listings with big backyards and a swing set with a pool, with thoughts like, had any thoughts of making a move? Looking for a pool like this? Need a home office? All the things that we know those buyers are dying to get today, I want to be targeted with my direct mail and my phone calls, following the rules of the DNC, and of course, DMing on social and more. So, obviously giving you guys a little script, a little language you can use in your letter. Hey, I hope this finds you doing well. I'm sure you've heard and have probably discussed over Zoom with some friends or family how COVID has completely changed how we view a home. Nice little letter to send. From stay at home, work at home to teach at home, a lot has changed, right? Because of this, more and more friends and clients are asking me to find them something with a backyard, maybe a pool, maybe a room for a better office, more space, and with interest rates where they are, well, you know how good it could be. Something as simple as that to send the first time, hand addressed, hand stamped, and I'm just trying to elicit a response. I'm trying to pay attention to what's going on in people's minds today. So I would include, as you see on there, some Zillow reviews, all the stuff that's going on in my business so they know that I'm for real. And the bottom line is, my friends, that's the first 7.